there, welcome along to another one of my videos. Good to have you along for the ride, and I'd like to have a big shout out here for Dundee Road here on YouTube. And this video is for you because I think these particular wagons that I've picked have a little bit of a special interest for you. And we've got here the new Oxford Rail Newbattle Lothian Coal Company liveried 4-plank open wagon. Now, we have previously reviewed the North British 4-plank wagon that Oxford Rail put out. It's one of the first few releases. I grabbed this because it actually provides a good companion to this particular model, which was done as a special commission for Harvey Hobbies in Edinburgh. It's now sold out, but it was nice to be able to start to build up a little bit of a rake here of different wagons to go with the same ownership. So this particular wagon is, I think that's an 8-plank end door tipping wagon, and that's in, you see, quite a distinctive black with the white lettering. But the Oxford Rail wagon, we've got it in this sort of dark grey base colour. Now, we've got a catalogue number here. They're quite difficult to show on camera here. But we've got the code OR76MW40005. And there we see Lothian Coal Company number 792. And this is the 4-plank wagon. Now, we've got pretty much the De Rigger Oxford Rail box here. Now, I've stuffed in the receipt there. I'm going to put that to one side. It was just somewhere convenient to put it when I brought this back from the shop. So we're going to... Oh, new wagon smell. Oh, plastic fumes. Don't breathe these. But there we have it out of the box, and it's a lovely little wagon. And you know, when I reviewed the 4-plank in North British livery, it's the same base wagon, so there's not really a lot extra that I can add about the wagon itself. But we do have some of the really nicely applied separate detail. Like, they've got the hinges here for the end tipping door, but the buffers, they are separately applied and added to the wagons. They are separate moulding, but they're not sprung. But that's okay. They are actually pretty nicely done. They are a little bit loose, actually. I'm looking there. I can spin them. So it's something to worth looking out for, is that the glue can be a little bit delicate on these. So just watch out for that when you're handling these. We've got this very interesting brake linkage. It sort of has an independent handbrake on both sides that acts on a single wheel, although obviously as each axle is fixed, it is braking the full axle, but that wouldn't really give the real wagon an awful lot of braking force. So I can imagine that, especially when fully laden, it would be something that probably best to chock these wagons in any yard that had a bit of a gradient on it. The livery application is nice and crisp. We've got the metalwork picked out in black. There's no bleed through particularly of the grey underneath, so it's a good stark striking black. I know that some of the early releases of the Oxford Rail wagons did suffer from bleed through in the white lettering, and we're not seeing any of that really here. I know on certainly the red wagons, the white lettering started to look a little bit on the pink side because it really needed to be a thicker application. Oxford Rail have taken on board some criticism of that. So it's nice to see that Oxford Rail have upped their game a little bit with the livery applications on these wagons. Clean and crisp all the way round. We've also got the actual wagon builder's plate in there, and my eyes are not what they used to be, so I can't actually read that with my naked eye, but I've got every faith that the tampo printing that Oxford Rail have been able to put on this will actually be perfectly legible under magnification, such is the quality of the livery on this. The actual end tipping door, the actual plastic moulding there does look a little bit on the thick side, but I haven't seen a full-sized wagon to be able to compare this. I've not seen photographs particularly which would show how accurate this detail is, but such is the nature of these wagons. There's always going to be compromises. So it's very difficult to be able to provide a really good comparison between the model and the full-size reel ones, but certainly in terms of the limitations of the materials that they're working with here, I feel that this is a really good addition that in turn will give you some variety to your wagon fleets, not just in livery, but also get a few more of these 4-plank open wagons. And it's nice that Oxford Rail have brought not just the 4-plank, but also the 6-plank opens to the marketplace, giving a lot more variety that people who prefer to buy their wagons ready to run can buy, in the knowledge that they're getting a good quality wagon to expand the variety in their wagon fleets. The wheels themselves, very free running metal wheels, split spoke wheels. Oxford Rail are actually producing these to a pretty good standard. They're indistinguishable really from the Bachmann and the Hornby offerings. We've got the couplings in NEM pockets. The NEM pockets themselves have actually been mounted just behind the wheels, so they're not actually too obtrusive if you want to remove them and use an alternative coupling means. Again, in the underside, we've got a representation of the underside detail, a little bit of detail for detail's sake, and spoilt to some extent by the fact that Oxford have branded the wagon there on the bottom. Now, you're not going to see that when it's running, but I know certainly it was one of the great detractions of the Northeastern Railway cattle wagon that where they'd put that was slap bang where the vacuum cylinder should have been. Of course, this wagon wouldn't be vacuum braked, so there's no missing braking details here to detract from the model. We're fitted with the Slimline tension lock couplings, and inside we have a very slight representation of the side doors there in the moulding. There's a lot of limitations come into play here for the internal detail, so it's nice to see that we do have some of the planking detail made there and an attempt to model the inside of the doors. We've got a planked floor. We've got this sort of brown colour. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about the brown colour being used for planking. Now, it's probably a little bit of an oxymoron, but wood, when you see it in real life, isn't actually quite often brown. So that is a very sort of fakey brown colour in there. Real wood in these wagons wouldn't really be painted, so it would very quickly weather down to a sort of grey white colour. So that's probably a little bit too brash, and I'm not even sure what real wood would be that colour unless it had been waxed up and varnished. So that's probably in the livery application the one detraction for me. But if you're going to add in a coal load or weathering, you can very quickly tone that down. Overall, a pretty good offering here from Oxford Rail, and there's not really a lot else that I can say about it that hasn't already been said in my review of the North British liveried Oxford Rail offering from the last tranche of releases. A very good addition to my wagon set. It will take pride of place in the display cabinet, probably next to its Bachmann Special Edition partner here, and well, that's all I've really got time for. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like it, share it too, and subscribe to the channel, and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when I put them up. And again, big hello there to Dundee Road. Don't forget to go and check out his channel too. Lots of great videos over there to look through as well. And this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying until next time, you take very good care of yourself. Bye for now.